New court documents have been filed by the legal team of Brendan Sorsby that provide insight into his betting habits since he's been in college. Documents show Texas Tech's quarterback placed over 40 bets on Indiana University while he was a Hoosier and transferred money to his friends and a family member to use their sports book accounts to wager around $90,000 in 4 years. He also continued to gamble after transferring to Texas Tech in December. Sorsby has been diagnosed with a gambling and anxiety disorder and recently completed a 35-day stay in the Arizona Gambling Rehabilitation Center. A hearing is scheduled for this Monday for his temporary injunction against the NCAA to maintain his college eligibility.